Welcome, welcome, Gemini's, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm Key, and this is our doorway. We enter the doorway. We're now in the Akashic Records Library. So, beautiful gems. For those masculine, feminine, or male and female that is wondering, how do I know if I'm exuding energetically Gemini traits? Well, being around two Geminis, I think, matter of fact, I should say three, that, and this is from just my experience, the Geminis that I know, they're good at teaching, they're good at creating, and they're very good at helping you guide in whatever you want to do. Like if you got this itch to go and do something, a Gemini will definitely help you on those guidelines to get there. So any Geminis that are listening right now, if I'm on the target a little bit, put in the comment box below or leave a comment on what is a Gemini in your eyes, because you are a Gem. But this is my viewpoint on a Gemini. So happy birthday, Geminis. I did not forget about you guys. I wanted to make sure to give you a beautiful gift that can really not only ground you, but gravitate with you, okay, wherever you go. So, two things came into mind. First, the genie. A beautiful Gemini by the letter M, if you're listening. I want to tell you thank you. This particular Gemini that starts with the letter M, he was a twin flame for me. He taught me how to stand tall when it comes to exuding a talent that I had. I was just a lot of times timid to show it. Or when I did show my talent, I didn't want to be triumphant because I didn't know how to be that all the time. And I want to tell that particular Gemini, because I believe his birthday is on the 15th. So I want to say thank you for being there for me. I mean, yes, we had a treasure of a relationship, and at times I came off a little toxic, but I had to learn through you how to not only translate both, because you know me, when it came to translating my emotions, I had a tough time with that. Now I'm getting a little better thanks to you. For another Gemini that's on the 15th, starts with the letter C, or that's his middle name. Thank you, Gemini C, for guiding me on how to communicate. Like, communicating to me was like confronting who I am while with another person, and that was very conflicting to me. And having a relationship with the letter C, Gem, taught me that if we don't communicate what we are connected to inside of ourselves, then how is another person going to know how to cultivate that or how to connect with that, which is us when we do speak of that as an individual. So his birthday is on the 15th. So happy birthday. Another beautiful one. I know he's a Gemini. I don't know his birthday. His letter is J. So letter J, Gem, thank you for guiding me on how to show the different ways of who I am. Because a lot of times we feel as an individual or as a person that we can only show one way of ourselves. And if we show the not so cool part of ourselves, that who's going to be around us when the going gets tough. And that particular Gem, Jay, he showed me that in order for someone to really go with you in life, they got to see everything that you go after, even the things that you hide with yourself. They got to see that. So thank you. For all the Geminis that's out there, I'm just letting you know as a person, and I feel if you talk to anyone that's in your world, in your reality, that as a Gem, we're so gracious, and we want to give you gratitude for being in our lives. Because without you, gems, without you, Geminis, how would we know how to show our intellect? How would we know how to feel great about our intuition? How would we know how to feel great on what we do want to go after if we didn't have you guys gracing our lives? So to all the Geminis, we would like to give you gratitude because you are a gift. It's like if we had to see how God could be in different facets of ourselves, why not be around a Gemini? You show us the duality of self, and for that is a beautiful gift. For those that are taking on Gemini energy, like we are all 12 signs. It just depends on the environment in which we want to express a particular sign. Thank you for showing us how a Gemini is in the world. So when we show that through our expressions, we know where it comes from and how it is within us as a person. When I say my mind's eye, I'm mentioning what God, Gaia, God, Goddess, that's the name that I give God or the Creator. Depending on how you growed up or grown in your country, we all have names for the Creator. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is that every name counts. So again, when I say my mind's eye, I'm talking about the God energy. I'm talking about your ancestors, the persons that were in your life that you have grown up with, whether it be family, friends that you felt connected to that passed on to the other side. They're there to help me with advice and answers. I'm merely just a vessel. We all are vessels, vocalizing. So I'm just here to vocalize what I'm learning through you guys, through your energy and through your ancestors and archangels and angels as well. So when starting this, the number 333 came to play. It came up when I was starting to think about recording for you guys for your mid-June. So whenever you get a chance, look in the reference of Keykeys.Doorway, and you will see a beautiful woman by the name of Mixed Diva. She has an interpretation or an atlas of how to look at the number 333 as an angel number for you guys. I feel that when you see it, you understand why, when I seen that number pop up, why it might be of necessity or necessary for you to know in the now. So when I thought of Geminis, again, a beautiful Gemini, the letter M, he is a beautiful artist. And he reminded me that if we had to connect to Geminis, a Gemini is kind of like a genie, like the movie Aladdin. Yes, we have 3 wishes, but if you really look at the genie, he's only giving us what we feel that we could go after. He says he or she is setting up that environment so we could play it out and actually go after it. Because once the genie in Aladdin gave him parts of his, his wishes, no matter what, Aladdin had to go after what he asked the genie to create for him. So that came up to mind, and geology. And I had to Google what is geology because I don't want to just say something without really knowing. So that's the Gemini side of who I am. So it says, geology, the science that deals with the Earth's physical structure and substance, its history, and the process that act on it. So Geminis, whenever you get a chance, check out Taurus reading. I feel that might also play a transitional role for you or a tool for you. I don't know. But when researching geology, the history, what is your history, Geminis, or the ones that are taking on Gemini energy? What is your history? How do you know your history is your story of your life on Earth? How does your story play out in a physical way? How does it play out in a spiritual way? How does it play out in an emotional way? How does it play out when it comes to what you had to hone in on and heal and see happen in your world? This plays a significant part of how you not only overcome or overcame things, but how you do help others in those type of situations. So let's get started. God, Gaia. Okay. God, Goddess. Mother, Father. Okay, y'all know what your heart wants. Let's see. 11-1 just popped up. So you're going to have strength in whatever you're doing. What present gives? Woo! Woo! Okay. That just dropped down like pa-bloop. Okay. Now, all right. Present gifts for Geminis. Present gifts for Gemini. Okay. I have a new deck of cards. This is for your sacred side of who you are. So, what is the sacred side of Gemini? The sacred side of Gemini. The sacred side of Gemini. Sacred side of Gemini. Sacred side of Gemini. Okay. And what energies? Y'all know. See, y'all know. Y'all go-getters. Y'all already know what y'all going after or what y'all going to be around. That is felt here right now. Okay. So let's get started. What? Look at that. Okay. Your heart's desire is Mercury, which is your planet, Geminis. So spiritually, you're going to be taking action on how you communicate. Wow. Mentally, you're starting to analyze. Physically, let your mind tell you how to. Let your mind tell you how to. Of course, Geminis, you're all about the mind. The mind shows you a map or a way to move. So that would explain why you are the messenger. You know what goes on in the human mind or the mind of any living thing. So, yeah, by action, you're going to let your mind move you. And if you notice, these two are dual, yes, but this is Egyptian. So your knowledge comes from, or the way you communicate is very ancient. You were around the time of ancient civilization, where making a civilization was a way of life. If we didn't have a civilization, we wouldn't be able to really live. Being nomadic had its place, but at some point we had to cultivate where we stay, even if we did move on. We learned that through you, Geminis, or the ones that are taking on Gemini energy. So you have a lot of Egyptian knowledge. What's coming in my mind's eye? I thought the Egyptian god Thoth, Thot. Yet I'm getting this sensation to say Maat. because of the letter M. So I'm also going to put in Keykeys Doorway information about Ma'at and about thought or thoth. But I feel Ma'at a lot. I'm going to check out with you why that is. What is your heart driving you to? Wow. Once you move in how you communicate and analyze, you're going to be in the 6th house, which makes sense. Okay. So, Geminis, you definitely know how to give what you have grown to know. What you have grown to know, you give out in the way you help others to grow. It's like this beautiful harvest. How did we know how to grow? If it wasn't for a Gemini, that would explain that geology. That's a physical structure. How to grow things. You can grow something, but it can become not good, meaning it can rot, it can make us sick if we don't know how to groom it correctly. So it's something about grooming is going to be of a guidance. So spiritually, you're seeing the service to others. Wow. Mentally, you're looking at what is good for us. Us as a collective, whether you're in the United States or you're in another country, what is good for us? Who better than a Gemini? And physically, that is your work. Service to others. What do you feel great about? If you had it your way, what do you feel good about when you help others or when you serve others? Serve others can be seen in different ways. It could be seen in how you speak. It could be seen in how you help people connect to others. It could be seen on how you help others to show their creative side. It could be seen on how you help people look at the character of who they are and feel confident in it rather than feel like they have to chastise it. What is your work? Your work is something that you do all the time. It's like to the point you don't see it as work. So when somebody says, what is your character like, or what is your creativity, it's kind of hard for Gemini maybe at times to pinpoint because y'all do it so naturally that you would really have to think about it and use your mind to tell you how that can be seen as something you create, if that's making sense. So, your present gift to yourself. Okay. Wow. Leaving or traveling. Now, for Geminis, you're always on the go. I mean, come on, you're an air sign. You follow where the vibrations take you. But in this present, it seems like leaving or traveling, you don't have to leave to do something. You could be right where you are and show or lead in a way that you want. A lot of times, as Geminis, that's how you grow, is by going to other places and using what you have learned to grow so you know where to go next. Well, what if Geminis or people that are taking on Gemini energy, that right now you don't have to leave or travel to know that you have grown. Maybe being exactly where you at right now and looking at how far you have come mentally will show you that, wow, I don't really need to leave right now. What I can do is manifest right here. Wow, that'll explain why those two popped up. You have the wisdom. You know exactly what is worthy, what is worthwhile. You know about that, Geminis. You know what makes a person feel that wow factor. You know what it means to know what people want and why they want it. You know what it feels like through the way you have grown what it takes to do something. You know, the other side of when we do something, it may feel like it's a doom, or like, is it too daring? Does it feel like just a dream? You show us, Geminis, how to make those meanings be more of a declaration than a disdainment. You know how to make even the things that we consider mundane magical. Like this, us moving or using our mind. We can see through you, Geminis, how magical that can be. Think about it. To even have a brain and to know that this brain, we only using a certain percentage of. And even that, we don't know what part of that brain of ours are we using that as a physical act. We would know through you. Yeah, definitely look at the Taurus reading. You are your wisdom is going to help, or your wisdom in general, Geminis, will always bring in finances. I should say that. Your wisdom in who you are, how much you withheld, how much you withstand, how much you worked at, how much you weathered through that storm, how much you have known what it feels to wait and to wake up with always an energy to keep going. It's going to bring you finances in June and from this moment forward. Why? Because you love life. You have experienced all things to know how to love life. That would explain why leaving and traveling is not necessary right now. What's going to get you going is living your life in the now. Right now, your life is worth loving. Right now, who you are is lovely to people around you. You help us grow, Geminis, or people that's taking on Gemini energy. You help us to look at life in a loving manner. Sometimes we look at life like we're losing, that as if we're lacking, or like as if we're lost. Geminis, you show us that if you can feel that negative part, which is, and is right, it is necessary to learn a lesson, then we would have to acknowledge the positive, which is looking at how much we can lead in, how much we can learn in, how much we have lived lessons, how much we have learned that to love would mean that every level of love would need to be conquered or would need to be looked at. That mind again, that mindset. Let your mind tell you how to. And you know how to love. Now you're leading in that. It is through you, Geminis, that we can learn how to love again. And that's something that is very much a longevity. You are a beautiful light. Your sacred self, energetically. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles. At one point, maybe my mind's eye, I'm getting turned when Jesus turned water into wine. The celebration, right? When we celebrate, sometimes we use spirits. We always say wine is spirits, right? Wine help us, and I learned this from a beautiful person that is a Pisces, but she has this Gemini nature about her. She pinpointed something that I didn't even think about, that wine helps us to unwind and bring out what we really want to be. Alcohol brings out our ambitious nature. It brings out a part of us that we may feel needs to be suppressed or oppressed. Yet when we have spirits or wine, it brings out the part of our spirit that we want to see. Yet in this one, your sacred side is like you already seen how that is. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you want more than this, a substance to show you that type of serenity or that type of expression of self. Like, do we need to always have a substance to show our true self? I know for me, when wanted to speak to another person, I did use wine or alcohol to make me feel a little loose, to not feel so shy. But then a person would think, oh, she will always need this to show that side. And I'm like, no, I don't. I just needed it for that moment. And I was in a way challenged. So I said, okay, let me show that I can show that side without having a substance. And in fact, it was stronger when I was sober. So there's like, well, why did you use the substance? I said, well, I used it because we all have a will to try things, to make us see, even in ourselves, that side that we don't even know we have. Sometimes it takes a substance. It could be like as simple as drinking water. If we're starving physically, what will we need? Water, because we are 60% water, or I believe 70. Geminis, you can help me out on this. You got to put in the comment box. If we are starving, wouldn't we need a substance called water to live? Now, if someone says, well, you drink too much water, then couldn't you test out that I could withhold not drinking water? But then I would have to know how long as a human can I stop drinking water to still survive. I can't go over that extension, or else I can actually severely harm myself. So this is what could be on your thoughts. You're seeing that you want something more wonderful in your life. Let's see. It looked like a fruit of some nature is in his hand. So rather than the cup, he has some type of fruit to give to her. And she's giving a part of herself that is liquid, or that can bring out liquid, which is milk. But if she's not pregnant, she's giving a part of herself that no one really gets to see naturally, which is her breast. Now, yes, as a female, we all have breasts, but to reveal that by skin level, we only show a person that we feel safe with. So you're looking for a connection where you can be safe to show all your sides of yourself to another. But in order to do that, you are looking at those sides that you would want to show another person. So is it your tender side? Is it the way how you show emotions? Because yes, you're good at speaking, Geminis, but do you show your emotions a lot? Because a lot of time it's like a show and tell. I can show you and then tell you. We may be used to you telling us than showing us. So before you show another person, you're looking in your mind to say, well, what would I want to see or to show about myself? So if I had another person, I would know exactly how to exude that, or to let that person know what is it that I do want. How this person around you could be feeling. Sacredly, they're the hermit. They probably were a hermit, meaning they wanted to express how they felt about you, in not just a physical level, but in a way where it's more intimate. Intimate is different than just a sexual act. Even though sex is very sacred, before we get to that stage, we need to know what makes us want to be entwined with another. So they had to reverse it to say, well, I don't want to have to go within anymore to think about what is it that I want to express. I want to start having this person hear how I feel in more ways than one. To hear is not just us speaking. We could hear through sound. We could hear through touch. We could hear through other expressions. So this person is reversing, going within. Maybe you are dealing with a Virgo, or a person that has a Virgo energy, which is all about perfecting something. A lot of Geminis are usually connected to Virgos a lot. So you might have come in contact with a Virgo that doesn't want to be perfect. They just want to physically find out why going within was necessary. I think they already went within already. So now they want to show you what they have learned. And they have the passion. It's just that rather than show it, in a way that seems practical, they may want to show it in a way that is unorthodox, or not really considered by like human standards practical. Like the practical way would be to speak about it. Maybe for them, showing that side would be to physically do it. That's why it would explain why using your mind to tell you how to would make sense. Because you have used your intellect, but your mind, our mind is connected to our emotions, to our intuition. Wow, this person was once a magician. So this person can also have an Aries in their chart where they're very active. They like to take adventures as well. But this time, that would explain why leaving and traveling was in reverse. This person does not feel the need to keep being active in how they show they love. They're going in a wow, and you see here, this is the symbol for Venus, and this is the symbol for Aries. So they're about a vision when it comes to how they're active. Maybe their concepts are changing because of you. So let's see how they're changing. What is the Nine of Pentacles? What is the Nine of Pentacles for Geminis? Nine of Pentacles for Geminis. The Magician. Okay. Okay. Oh, and the Hermit. What is the Hermit? The Hermit. What is the Hermit revealing for the sacred of Geminis? Hermit. Okay. So, when it comes to you, Geminis, you're seeing that The Knight of Chalice. So to show how you emotionally feel for another goes way beyond the physical. Maybe that's how you know if you would stick to someone like Lou, or if this person would stick to you like Lou, was through the way they made you feel based on their physical, like how they physically showed their affection to you. Because once you physically seen them, your passion will rise. The way you would penetrate them showed in based on their physical way of expressing their love, or expressing the way they wanted you to come to them, or you to, or that person to you. So now it's being reversed. So you want something more. You want how they emotionally feel. Like you want to show through your emotions also to match why you do things physically when it comes to expressing who you are to another person. So you're tapping in, you're using your mind to guide you or to move you in a way where, okay, how can I show someone how I feel about them? I might have looked at them physically to figure out how I could play out this scenario. Now you're looking at, I want to use my emotions. So when I look at them, yeah, I got to physically look at them. But what do I want to express emotionally though? And that's going to take a moment for you to think about. Why? Because you're becoming the Queen of Pentacles. You are manifesting a lot of things in your world. And again, you want this type of passion that goes beyond the physical. You want it where it penetrates your mind, it penetrates your soul. It makes you want to show a playful side of who you are to the person that you see as your queen. You're looking at even a playful approach. Maybe you will be expressing yourself emotionally through foreplay. Now, hey, getting it on is great, but foreplay gives you a foreshadow of how a person does feel about you in between or before the act itself. So you're becoming the queen of foreplay, if that's making sense, like touching, telling, like, again, it's something physical. I don't think you're going to be talking about it. It's like the foreplay is how you're going to physically show it. This man is touching a part of this woman's leg. Maybe he has learned that this woman loves to be touched near her legs. Or he likes to, and mind you, he's on the floor. Maybe you are probably into the foot. Have a fetish for the foot. That's also when you learn about body parts, certain parts of our bodies